Shalom, Yasharala. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakak double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here article real quick, dealing with the mark of the beast. And if you've been watching the videos for quite a long time, quite a while, you realize that we keep hitting the same prophecies over and over and over again. It's just like that song on the radio that you get tired of hearing because they play it out too much, But that's pretty much how it is with the scriptures and this here truth and how it's going to go out, Going back to Ezekiel chapter 2 and chapter 3, how the Lord was talking to Ezekiel, talking about, look, you're going to tell them whether they hear or whether they forbear, for they're stiff-necked people, they're rebellious, they're, how do you say, they're basically, how Jake would say hard-headed, you got to constantly keep telling them the same thing over and over again. And which, one of the main lessons of that we learned, how the scriptures say the conclusion of the whole matter is what? To fear the Most High and keep his commandments, all right? And that was one lesson that we had to constantly keep learning in the scriptures, but it was through repetition, all right? Israel, we got the covenant with the Most High, right? But then we wound up going off. So we went into captivity. The Most High raised up prophets. He came and delivered us. We was good for a while, then we wound up going off, going back into captivity and so on and so forth, So it's like the same thing going over and over again. The same way as how we push out these here videos when we put out these prophecies, it's the same things kind of over and over again. But now, like Habakkuk chapter 2 says, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. Though it tarry, wait for it, for it shall surely come, it shall not tarry. All right. So this is pretty much where we at now. We at the end of all these things. And now as you're seeing, like I said, you've been hearing us in repetition, singing the same song on repeat over and over and over again. And a lot of things that we've been saying, depending on how long you've been watching, seem far-fetched, Just like when I first came across the videos and things like that, talking about, nuclear war with Russia. Well, at that point in time, Russia really wasn't, where it's at today. It's kind of like, yeah, I could see it, but it's going to be way far off from now. They got a long way to go before then. But now it's evident. It's on the news. This is what they're talking about now. All right. And the same thing with, I was telling somebody, somebody in my family, it was maybe about a year or so ago. I was like, you know what? A year from now, one thing that y'all going to be talking about and discussing is what the world calls UFOs. You laugh and joke now talking about they ain't nothing serious and nothing like that. But look, I guarantee you by this time next year, that's what they're going to be talking about is UFOs. It's going to, the cat's going to be out the bag. It's not going to be a mystery. It's not going to be a conspiracy theory. It's not going to be none of these things. They're going to be openly talking about this. And lo and behold, you see Donald Trump talking about creating a, what they call it, like a space command, all right, which they already have that. They've been had this from actually before even Ronald Reagan. The first, I don't know even know if this is the first program, but just to give it to you, going back in time, Donald Trump wants to so-called create what they call a space command. But however, before it was so-called called a space command, Ronald Reagan introduced a system called the Star Wars program. All right, you can look this up. It's called the Star Wars program, where they was trying to put weapons in outer space, basically to fight Yahweh Shah when he returns. All right, but before that, I can't think of what president it was, but nevertheless, it was called the SDI program. I believe it was the Space Defense Initiative. All right, so this is something that another thing that is now starting to speak now. You seeing more and more chariot sightings. All right, more and more. You can go on YouTube and see so many different videos of people uploading videos of chariots, Even hell, the news is even talking about it now. Like I said, it's in the open media now, So a lot of things that we talk about now, it's to the point to where we don't have to keep playing this song on repeat because now the fans and everybody else is now starting to sing that song. You ever heard that song that you really don't like the song because you hear it all the time, but it's like a little jingle. It's got a little, something to it or whatever, whatnot. That annoying song, like, damn, once somebody sing it around you, you start singing the damn song, Like that dude, that country song, that Old Town Road. Well, I'ma ride my horse to the Old Town Road. Like, damn, I don't even like that song, but you happen to hear that shit on the radio, now you start humming the song and singing the song and so on and so forth. They don't even have to play the song and be singing the song. Now you just constantly sing the song on repeat. All right, that's pretty much where we at now. All right, because the men of the Lord have been prophesying about this over and over and over again on the highways and the byways. But what? Though it tarry, wait for it. All right, because it shall surely speak. All right, it's not going to tarry. And now we in that time frame now to where you don't even, the song has been overplayed on the radio. It's time for a new song to replace it. But now you still singing that song in your head. All right, they don't even have to play the song no more. You now singing it. So just like instead of us singing the song, which is the song we singing, all right, according to Revelation chapter 14, all right, but nevertheless, you know, instead of us prophesying about these things and telling you these things is coming to pass, and it seems so far off and so far fetched, now all these things are in the mainstream media and the news and things like that, man. All right, and now dealing with this here article, this is dealing with the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. There should be no more discrepancies about what the mark of the beast is, because I can attest for the Men of the Great Millstone. We have been pushing this shit. Matter of fact, the Men of Great Millstone been pushing this shit, but way before I even got around. We've been pushing this shit for a minute. You see what I'm saying? For the longest time, you know, it's like really one of the only camps that's heavily pushing this, man. All right, hey, look at Apostle Tahar's channel, man. All right, what is the 666 mark? All right, that's what we do all the time. Every chance we get, we push out about this RFID chip being the mark of the beast. But now, you know, people couldn't see it. People think it's a debate about all these different things, right? But now, though it tarry, though you don't see it yet, you know, though it seem far-fetched, though it seem far off, though it don't seem, it's not that clear, but you know, though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come, it shall not tarry. And now it's not tarrying, and now it's at the end, and now it's starting to speak. All right, because we've been singing the song so long, and now the crowd is starting to repeat the song. All right, so now here you see it in the news and the media now, they saying the exact same thing we saying. All right, so it's now to the point to where, look, man, we don't even got to push the word no more, really, because everything that we prophesying about now is now in your mainstream media news, and they basically breaking it down the same way we break it down. All right, or you know, sometimes Esau throwing those little bones here and there, but nevertheless, we're gonna jump into this here article from RT. It says, "Get out of my face. Facial recognition technology could enslave mankind like never before." And this is basically Esau's ultimate plan, man. Talking about I shall be like the Most High, man. All right, he wants to know all your thoughts, your every movement. You know, like they had that one movie where they talk about they're going to persecute you for crimes before you even do them. All right, this is what Esau's ultimately trying to do. He's trying to enslave you this way, man. If he can enslave your mind, he can keep you inside the damn prison compound. All right, he can withdraw those thoughts of running away. He can withdraw those thoughts of rebellion. Not only that, he can control and put thoughts into your mind so where you thinking that you're having these thoughts, or maybe a higher being like the Most High is talking to you. You know, they have technologies. They've been had technologies like this. You know, there was that I think it was the Navy Yard shooter or something like that some years back. They had this one shooter where he engraved on his rifle, "This is my one way they call it is an ELF weapon, but it's an ELF weapon. All right, what is it? Extreme or extra low frequency weapon. All right." Basically, in a nutshell, for layman's terms, it's like a dog whistle. You know, if you have a dog whistle and you blow that bitch, you can't hear the dog whistle, but the dog can hear it, and it's an excruciating noise to the dog. So the dog wind up hearing the shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not really, you can't really pick it up. It's not audible with your ears. He can pick it up, and it's kind of harmful into him, right? So with these ELF weapons, all right, especially with these pulsations of different things, man, they can pretty much put thoughts into your head and make you think that you're thinking these things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude was saying, hey, there's plenty of cases of this, man. Just like I said, you can look this up, man. It's, you know, an ELF weapon or ELF, targeted individuals, gang stalking. All right, all this is going into all these different things, but nevertheless, brain to skull, I believe it's called, is brain to skull something, brain to skull communications or something like that, or basically off of certain vibrations, they can pretty much, you know, pulsate certain waves inside of in your head and between your brain and your skull. It'll vibrate and it'll basically turn into an audible sound that you'll pick up as a voice, and you'll wind up thinking you're hearing things talking. All right, so again, these technologies have been around for quite a while. All right, but now this is the ultimate icing on the cake, man. They want to have that full control, man. They want to be able to track you wherever you go, see how much, you know everything about you, your health records, you know, your DNA, all these different things, where you've been, how much money you spend, your whole history of everything, man. All right, they want to be like the Most High and know everything about you. All right, so this here article goes into, it says, advertise as the latest tool. It says advertise as the latest tool to give shoppers more convenience. Notice keyword, it says shoppers. All right, going into Revelation 13, that no man shall buy or sell. It says advertise, and this is how they're pushing it, you know, because it's not necessarily like they're going to, you know, they may get to that point where they're actually forcing you to get this, or you're going to, you know, they're going to kill you like that. But nevertheless, you know, the way things are shaping up now, it's like the iPhones and shit like that, or smartphones in general, man, because you basically got all the things that they want to get you for the most part. They got all the things that the RFID chip is going to have on you once they implant it inside your body. All that technology is inside your phone. You got it all on you in your phone now. You know, you got the damn tap to pay, the GPS. You know, they got the heart monitor thing, the step, what do they call it, pedometer or whatever, whatnot. They got all these different things, biometrics, facial recognition, retina scans, fingerprint scans, all these things you carrying all this, you know, these basically the devices to collect all this here data right there in your pocket, man, on your cell phone. But nevertheless, and how do they, you know, they don't force you to have all that, but what, they advertise it a certain type of way to make people go stand in line and wait for hours on end to get the latest, you know, piece of spyware and technology from these damn Edomites, man. All right. So again, they're not forcing people to get this here technology right now. People willingly going out spending thousands of dollars to get this technology, man. And then you also have people that's blatantly just flat out going to go get chipped at so-called chipping parties. All right, getting the damn RFID chip implanted in their skin. All right. So it says advertises the latest tool to give shoppers more convenience. One of the ways they're selling it for convenience. Facial recognition comes with deep cost to privacy and security. By the way, can anyone remember Silicon Valley asking for permission to use your face? Mankind has long feared that some totalitarian state, as vividly described by visionary writers like George Orwell, 1984, Aldous Huxley, Brave New World, or Yevgeny Zayantin, will ultimately arise and enslave him in an inescapable technological dystopia. And really, you know how they say art imitates life. You know, a lot of the times they put their plans and things right. You know, they hide it. You know, the best place to hide the elephant is right there in plain sight. All right, because people ain't looking in the obvious place for certain things. You know, that's sometimes, you know what I'm saying. Hey, just like you know, you probably been in a situation where you're looking for your keys and you just rushing around too much. You looking for your keys, can't find your keys the whole time. Your keys in your hand or in your pocket. It's in the obvious place. I had my keys on me the whole time. You know, but you just moving too damn fast. You know. But nevertheless, you know, you start digging under the couch, digging in the back of your closet, knowing good and damn well you ain't been back there in a while. You're looking for something, but it's right there in the obvious, right there so close upon you, you can't even tell. All right, so what? They put these things in the movies and things like that condition the people's minds and also to brainwash the people. So what? Just like with the chariots, all right, and the angels, you know, they give it to you as what? UFOs and little green men, Martians and aliens. So you think of this as fairy tales, also witchcraft and stuff like that. They put it to you in a Disney type of sense to where you think, oh, that's just some cartoon stuff. This is all just some fairy tale stuff. So when you actually see it, you don't, you know, you don't put two and two together. You know, you know, sometimes they tell you that if you tell a big enough lie, people will believe that it's the truth, man. All right, you know, one way for people to start believing the lie, make it so big, so outrageous, you know, so all these different things out there that it's too much for people to really process, and they'll just take it as the truth, man. All right, well, this can't be real. Why would the government want to kill you? Well, look back in history. That's what they've been doing the whole time, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's far-fetched to people, you know, because why? They've been preconditioned to these different things, you know. If you've seen any of these movies like Brave New World or 1984, all right, like especially I believe it's the movie 1984 where they've given everybody this pill. I believe it's like Soma or something, and everybody's all high. They always happy. It's like releasing those dopamine hits, or I think it's dopamine, which is like the excitement drug that your brain releases whenever something happy happens in your life or whatever that you get excited off of, you know. So they constantly keeping you high. And look at what we got going on now. It's constant entertainment here and there, man. All right. You get bored at any point in your life with all the entertainment and shit that you got around you, from going out to bars to people and all this and that. Guess what? You can pop out your phone and you got a plethora of social media sites you can get on and go down all kind of damn rabbit holes and shit, right? You can go on YouTube. Hey, shit, with YouTube alone, man. Hey, really, that's kind of like how I got into a lot of this stuff, man. I got on the YouTube and started falling down a damn YouTube hole while I used to be at work and stuff. And then one thing led to another thing. Started going into, you know, deeper into the Illuminati and deeper into other things. And all of a sudden, you know, while I wasn't watching, one of the videos just popped up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the hell am I listening to? You know what I'm saying? But hey, you just start going down these damn rabbit holes. You know, it's a plethora of just so much shit that you can get into to keep you distracted here, man. All right. And that's just pretty much how it was in that one movie where they was just getting these drugs to keep them all happy and how you say, docile and basically just disabled from caring about anything, trying to change anything. You know what I'm saying? So they was just like, well, fuck it, I'm happy, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, man, you come in and you inject people every day. You know, you got a prison and you go in and inject people every day with, like, let's just say hey, fuck it, like heroin. You know, when you see these people zoned the fuck out on heroin, they just like, I don't give a fuck what's going on, bro. I'm good. And they just stuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? You do that to the prisoners every damn day on time. None of the prisoners, they might want to escape, but then they won't. Matter of fact, Cat Williams had a funny ass joke like this, man. All right, talking about him and his little boy always be running all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? And the teacher said he was too excited, too hyper. and they wound up prescribing him these drugs, and he was like, yo, I gave him the damn pill, and homeboy went to take off, and, you know, Cat Williams go to try to run, and he just all, you know, stop and just drop, you know. And he was like, I was looking at the little nigga. He was sitting there for like 2.5 hours. After 3 hours, you got to check on the nigga, right? He said, what's going on, my nigga? He said, nothing. I'm being good like you want me to. He's like, okay, touche, my nigga. What you thinking about? And the little boy was like running. You know, his mind still, you know, doing, you know, the little boy that was already in his mind to just be running. But he took the pill. But his mind's still going where he want to go, but his body ain't really functioning like that. So what? He's in one little small spot, ain't really moving nowhere. But what, his mind's still racing like he's actually doing something, you know? But nevertheless, he ain't going to get up and actually go and do nothing. Like, let's just say instead of him running, that, you know, equate that to him trying to, you know, escape prison or something. That's, you know, him running is equal to him running and escaping, you know, trying to escape the prison, you know? If you put him on those drugs all damn day, yeah, he still want to escape. You know, the gates is open. There's nobody watching right now, but he's so damn drugged up that he won't even move, man. And that's what's going on right now here in America with all these different things that you got going on with the TV, all these different distractions and things like that. So what, people are just glued into watching all these new TV shows. Let me think of some of these shits they got. That shit with the Power Show, the Game of Thrones and shit. All kind of little crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially with these seasons and shit. You constantly binge watching these shits with Netflix and Hulu. So people just want to do that all day. So when you go back and watch that movie and they're giving them these damn drugs, that's akin to what you got going on today. So people don't even want to see what's really going on. You know, that's just too much thinking. I could just press this button and be entertained. I ain't even got to get up and leave nowhere, you know? But nevertheless, and that's a form of brain control or mind control, you know? Because they don't want you to get up and think on your own. They want to just give you the thoughts and pre-program you with the visions that you're seeing. You know, that's why my dad used to tell me this shit all the time. It's called television for a reason. They telling you a vision. All right. And at every, you know, television station or whatever, whatnot, they got a situation or a position there that's called what? The television programmer. All right. And when you're watching TV, you're watching a television program. And you are the one that's being programmed by the programmer. All right. So nevertheless, let me just continue on a little bit. It's a lot. Well, Jake's playing that thing too. But nevertheless, it says, however, it is not unusual. It is not usually the technology, an inherently neutral force which men fear most, but deep distrust is direct at the shadowy individuals behind the curtain who may be tempted to use their tinkering prowess for ulterior motives like crushing human freedom underfoot. And that's exactly what we've seen happen over time. The same thing has been going on. You know, it's so-called bread and circuses, you know. Back in the old days, they would give you like the gladiators, so on and so forth. Like I was just explaining, man, they give you all these drugs and entertainment and all these different things to control your mind, to keep your mind off of the real situations that's going on, you know. That's just like, you know, if you ever see, you know, you in the house and you got your dad in the house or whatever, whatnot, the man of the household or whatever, you know, and you a little kid and you doing something bad or whatever, whatnot, you know, but it's game day and he watching the game, so don't nothing else even really matter. The kids over there beating each other up, crying and shit, spilled some bleach, drank some bleach, stuck a fork in the damn socket, getting electrocuted, but the dad just kicking back watching the damn game, you know? Mama over there watching the soap operas or some shit. They just so stuck into the TV. It's like them being high up on a drug that, you know, you see these little kids, put some SpongeBob on or some shit like that. They be glued to the TV or nowadays it's the tablet, you know? My damn little nephew is 2 years old, be stuck into the damn, watching that shit on YouTube, Baby Shark and Gummy Bears and shit like that, you know? That's all he do is binge watch that shit. So, you know, this is what's programming the people. This is pretty much that damn drug or the mind control that they're using to control the people's minds and keeping them docile. All right, but what? The next step is what? Ultimately putting this chip inside of you and ultimately controlling your thoughts. All right? It says, however, it is not unusual. I just read that. Let me go down. It says, consider, for example, how futurists warned of the day when consumers would voluntarily line up for the pleasure of being microchipped so as to more efficiently access the matrix with a magical wave of the hand. All right, hey, and it's about to go into it. All right, and this is exactly where we're going. This is exactly what we're actually coming to. All right, this is the society that they're putting in place right now with the 5G that's going up. All right, all these new smartphones and all this technology that they're giving you, getting you familiar with this here technology so you can't so-called live without it, man. All right, there's a generation right now that's living on the planet Earth that wouldn't know how to do shit if they didn't have Google. All right, wouldn't know how to find no kind of directions using a regular map if it wasn't for Google Maps. All right, they don't remember nobody's phone number, nobody address, save the shit that is programmed in their phone. All right, so what? They already being handicapped because they got this here thing that's making them more docile or controlling their minds, all right? Keeping their mind off of what's really going on. It says, well, that of let me go back up. It says, considering, for example, how futurists warned of the day when consumers would voluntarily line up for the pleasure of being microchipped, in which not only did the futurists warn of this, the prophets are also prophesying about these things because it was written down in the prophecies in the scriptures, all right? So it says, consider, for example, how futurists warned of the day when consumers would voluntarily line up for the pleasure of being microchipped so as to more efficiently access the matrix with a magical wave of the hand. Well, that drop of derangement has already seen the light of day. The technology injected under the skin, all right, key word is injected under the skin, like when you go into the word stigma, all right? It says the technology injected under the skin was thought to be the end game, which it is the end game, all right? This is how they try to hide these things inside of plain sight. They hide an elephant right there in front of you. They telling you the plan of what's coming, but they telling you, they're using words like this was thought to be the end game, or this was considered by conspiracy theorists as the biggest fear or whatever, whatnot. They kind of joking and laughing at it, but that's exactly what's going on, all right? But nevertheless, they also conditioning your mind to be able to accept all these things and letting you know what's coming around the corner, all right? So it says, the technology injected under the skin was thought to be the end game, the so-called mark of the beast, according to some apocalyptic critics, as far as personal freedom is concerned, in which that's exactly what it is. And again, like I was saying, or like the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it shall surely, how does it say? It says, the vision is yet for an appointed time, and at the end it shall speak. All right, though it tarry, it shall surely come. It shall not tarry, but it shall surely come, But basically right now, we've been seeming like retards and just coons and crazy and conspiracy theorists, just some crazy dudes out there talking about this crazy shit. They're not finna microchip you. The mark of the beast is Christianity. The mark of the beast is philosophy. The mark of the beast is all kind of other shit. They've been laughing and scorning us the whole time. But guess what? Now that they telling you this inside the damn news, they're not talking about that. Oh, some believe the mark of the beast is Christianity. As Christianity is being put out to earth right now. All right, mainstream Christianity, that is. All right, as that's going away, whenever you hear stories about the Bible and stuff like that in articles, they don't talk about nothing like that as being the mark of the beast. But every time you hear stories about the RFID chip, that's always one of the concerns in every video news piece that you see. They're like, some people are worried and concerned about this could be the biblical mark of the beast. They always interject that in there. Why? Because that's exactly what it is, man. That's exactly the truth, man. All right, but now, again, you don't have to debate to see whether GMS is right about the RFID chip being the mark of the beast, or whether these other groups are right about Christianity being the mark of the beast. All right, it's evident now. It's speaking right now, man. They telling you right now what it is. And plus, if you got the eyes to see, they setting the system up for these things right now. The 5G, why do you think they rushing that so fast? All right, they don't want to test it out and see what the implications might be if they actually turn that bitch on. They don't want to see that because they already know what it is. They need to get this system going now because why? They know that Revelation 12:12, the devil's come down to you having great wrath because he had but a short time. They're also going to be using this 5G system to also use like what they call the Internet of 2.0 or Internet of Things and Internet 2.0, where you can have devices talking to different devices, real time, all right, which with the AI and all these different things going on at that point in time, they need the 5G network for that. All right, so it's also letting you know that, look, this is the times that we living in. This is the time when Yahushua spoke about of his return, man. All right. So let me read this again. A technological injection under the skin was thought to be the end game, the so-called mark of the beast, according to some apocalyptic critics, as far as personal freedom is concerned. Unless human beings submitted to being electronically chipped, the doomsayers say they will be barred from engaging in vital social activities, including shopping, banking, or using the internet. In effect, a death sentence. In reality, now, well, hey, that's twofold, because in reality, it could be both ways, man. All right, they could actually, the scripture say, he's caused all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their foreheads or on their right hand, And if they don't, basically it was going to be put to death, man. All right, but nevertheless, you can see with the Chinese social system they got going on. I've done a couple videos on that and how that works. You get too low of a score, they wind up taking your passport, your right to travel, stop you from getting rent, stop you from getting jobs, stop you from enrolling your kids into school. So basically you forced to being homeless at this point in time. You ain't gonna be able to get no money, all right, to be able to feed yourself. So basically you cut off from the whole system. You just left out there to die anyway. All right. It says today, however, with radical advantages being made in the field of facial recognition technologies, it looks as though the promising chip has met its match. And no, not really. Because, you know, there are ways of getting around the facial recognition. I did a video on this a long ass time ago with the insane clown posse or whatever their name is. Those dudes that be painting their faces like clowns and shit. You know, with certain patterns and stuff on your face, or certain paint schemes and stuff like that, will make it hard for the facial recognition to be able to pick you up. People could also put on masks. You know what I'm saying? They got these high detailed Hollywood masking things. You know, also with the retina scans, there are ways of getting around that as well too. But once you get this here chip inside of you, all right, that's going to be the end all be all. You know, they could put a tamper-proof seal basically in there. So if you tamper with it, they'll wind up knowing that you're trying to tamper with it, you know? Plus, they'll be able to read your thoughts in your mind anyway. So it's like, yo, I'm about to pop this bitch out real quick. I need to find this here tool to do the shit with. As soon as that shit registers in your brain, red flag go up. They can go ahead and shut your damn chip down, man. All right? So it says, in recent articles by Market Watch, a new fictionless consumer draws on the horizon where cumbersome access like wallets and purses, together with the outdated cash and credit cards they hold, will be replaced by payment schemes known as the biometric mobile wallet. And that's another thing, you know, we've been telling you about, the biometric system. All right, this was basically signed into law by George Bush. All right, George Bush put into play the what was it called, the Real ID Act. All right, so I know here in the state of Florida, we got new driver's licenses now with the RFID chip inside of our driver's license, all right, to be able to track everybody and everything, in there like that, you know, and basically, you know, I believe it might be on 2020 or whatever, whatnot, where we'll be able to use basically our license for like a passport as well too, because all of our information is on our damn license. You got way more information than what your regular license has, because why? It's on that RFID chip, all right, but ultimately, they want to put that chip inside of you, just like the same chip that's on your debit cards, inside your cell phones, and everywhere else. They want to put that chip inside of you, all right? Like, they got videos of this one lady who took her Tesla key and implanted it inside of her skin. So what, that same little RFID chip that you use as a fob or whatever to start your car up for your keyless entry, all right, they just put that inside of you, and you can use it for these other applications as well too, you know? But it says, sounds like the ultimate gift this holiday season, right? Well, think again. First off, all the name of technology is very misleading, since there's no leather billfold to wrap up or place under the Christmas tree. That's because systems work off an individual's distinctive bodily features, face, fingerprints, retinas, in other words, the ultimate face control. And hey, ultimately, when they put that chip inside of you, that's going to be the ultimate control over your whole being. As to be expected, the article heaps boundless praise on technology, which is on the verge of going live. Soon, harried shoppers will no longer have to fumble around in their purses to find their credit cards. Just stare blankly into the in-store facial recognition machines, and you're on your way. And that's the excuse that they give me. Oh, we're getting more convenient, so you don't have to be backed up in these lines. Like, well, really, you know, you ain't got to be all backed up in the damn lines. If you got somebody in front of you, you know, they're going to have to put all their shit up on the little, what do you call it, the little, basically that little conveyor belt that bring your groceries or whatever up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You waiting on them, and once they get their total and they start paying, the person bag up, you can be already loaded your groceries up, got your damn card out, ready to pay or whatever, whatnot. So once they get done bringing up your last shit, you already prepared, man. All right, that's what I do when I go in the store to go grocery shopping and shit like that. You know, while they ringing up my last little things and bagging up my last stuff, I got my card out, putting it in already, you know? You ain't holding up the line, but look, this is how they selling it to you for convenience. All right, but just like how we got all these damn chips inside of our debit cards now, you ever realize how much more time you wasting trying to put that damn chip in? Most of the time the chip don't even work. Chip malfunction. And you got to wind up swiping, but you got to get it filled like 3 to 4 times before you could even swipe it, you know? But this is another piece of the way that they wind up selling you this damn shit, you know? They'll give you something that they know, you know, problem, action, solution, you know? They're going to give you some fucked up shit in one stage because why? They know that you'll kind of like certain things about it, but you'll pick out the flaws and ask for an updated version, which they already got the updated version around the corner. So you tired of the chips inside of your cards, you know, the chips getting damaged because they're in your wallet, they get bent up from you sitting on them. Well, how about this? We take the chip out the card and put it in your hand, and you ain't got to worry about it, you know? Flock it. It says, in addition to that, small convenience is provided to the consumer. It also has added advantage of making people spend more money, since the fictionless transaction gives the illustration, and potentially dangerous one at that, considering the U.S. consumer outstanding debt burden that no dirty money has traded hands. And that's like in reality, man. You know, it's easy for a person to spend somebody else's money, man. You know, you go somewhere with somebody or as a kid or whatever, whatnot, you in a store with your parents, it's easy to start picking this out, picking that out. But when you got to make the money and you going to work for your damn paycheck and you in a store and you looking at certain things, you know, you might be like, oh, I like this orange juice, or we know this here orange juice brand. This is the expensive orange juice brand. That's the name brand, but I know my finances, I can't really afford that. Let me go get this here brand instead. You know, you start thinking about these different things. But, or if you using credits, or if you're using your card, it's easier to actually sit there and use your card than look inside your wallet, you know, and look at how many different dollar bills you got in there, whatever, whatnot, to count it all out. When you start seeing you pulling out a 20, a 50, or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? You actually realizing how much money you spending versus you just pulling out a card and swiping real quick, you know? How many times you been out to eat and they come to bring over your receipt or whatever, whatnot, and before they can get it down on the table, you just hand them your card real quick. Oh, just take it and go. You don't got to look at the bill and see how much money it is, look inside your wallet, get the correct bills or whatever, whatnot, and in that whole process, you realize you're spending money. But when you just take that card out and swipe, it's just, oh, I'm just handing them the card, whatever, whatnot. You don't really see the money leaving your hand, all right? Which is going to put people into what? Basically an even more consumer loop, all right? So where you basically being a slave into these people going to work just to buy all these new little trinkets for them. It says every technological necessity exists in the real world and is used commercially. Sinarick said, matter-of-factly, it is the neoliberal takeover of the human body, and that's exactly what's going on with transhumanism. You got another loaded comment, and one that screams enslavement minus the unfashionable chains of yesteryear. Again, this is Esau trying to ultimately enslave the whole damn planet, all right? It says, the question is, who will exactly benefit from this so-called technological necessity? Ultimately, the plan is that Esau, who the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, he's ruling the earth, and in his mind is that his kingdom going to go on forever. So if he get this here chip implemented, all right, he can control the whole damn planet Earth. Nobody will be able to rebel, and he'll really have nobody challenging him. He'll be like the Most High, knowing all your thoughts and everything else like that. You know, being able to control when you're going to live and when you're going to die. The click of a button, he could turn off your damn chip and your ass is just dead, you know? It says the only real benefit that I could see from facial recognition, at least from the consumer's perspective, are that people no longer have to worry about losing their wallets or wasting an extra 30 seconds using their credit cards. And again, think about that. You know, how often do you really, really lose your wallet? You know, yeah, sometimes people do lose their wallet, but that's one thing you don't never really leave your house without. It's like your car keys or your cell phone, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, you lose your cell phone, but you don't really go without not having your cell phone for like more than like 30 minutes or so. You know, you lose your phone, you digging up everything to find your damn cell phone, you know? Same with your wallet, because why? Your driver's license is in there. So if you leave the house without it, you're going to need your damn driver's license in case you get pulled over. Your debit cards, credit cards, money's all in there. You know what I'm saying? You might have an ID badge to get into work. You need all these things to be able to function in society anyway. So you basically need to be walking around with your paper. So you're not really losing and leaving it at home on a daily basis. You know, that's not like the biggest problem here. We're in America is like, damn, we can't keep track of our wallets. You know, we can't keep track of, you know, our keys and things like that. So we might as well get a RFID chip to make all our lives better, you know? It says, but do those tiny advantages outweigh the massive concerns over identity theft, for example? After all, while it remains relatively easy to cancel a stolen credit card, you know, this is how people say, oh, you know, people can steal your shit, this and that. Yeah, you can cancel it out and go get another one real quick. Call the bank up. And, you know, it's actually a lot better way of doing that than, like, getting this damn chip, you know? Then they start hacking your shit that way, then, I mean, you really fucked. It says, after all, while it remains relatively easy to cancel a stolen credit card, how exactly does one cancel their facial features? Moreover, what if my own personal views clash with those of neoliberals who, as the headlines of the articles openly admit, own everyone's facial features? Basically, the elites, Esau, you know? What if your thoughts are contrary to his thoughts, you know? Just like with Nebuchadnezzar in that statue, he wanted everybody to bow down to that statue, but what? If he was adverse to that, then what? Your ass was going to get put to death, man. All right? And you know, basically, this is what Esau wants to implement the same thing. You know, if you against him, that's where we at right now, man. If you challenge Esau's views and his narrative, you basically become what they call a domestic terrorist, you know, spreading so-called lies, but that they call fake news or whatever. But in reality, this is what he's doing. This is why he's called a damn devil. He's the deceiver. But, you know, basically he's saying if you're not going with his agenda, your ass should be put to death, you know? It says, moreover, what if my own personal views clash with those of neoliberals who, as the headlines of the articles openly admit, owns everyone's facial features? Will my ability to buy food, access my smartphone, and book a flight be impeded by the Silicon Valley overlords who will stop them. All right. The ultimate answer is Yahushua, you know, like you can read in Matthew chapter 24, you know, roughly paraphrasing, you know, if time wouldn't be shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, you know, time's going to be shortened, you know. It says to get an idea of where this future facial recognition could be heading, one only needs to consider China, which is in the process of rolling out its so-called social credit system, which I showed on a couple videos, you know, going into the RFID chip being the mark of the beast. All right. It says rolled out a social credit system, a fusion between big data and big brother that ranks the citizens on everything from their finances to their social media behavior to the books they're reading. All right. And then let's just decode all this. They look at them by their finances, just like how they do with the wealthy, the top 1% or the top 1% of the 1%. They get these tax cuts. They're not paying taxes. But the rest of us, the majority of us, the Israelites, you know, we the ones paying all these high taxes and things like that. So what? They basing off your income. Oh, if these, you know, if you're not in this tax bracket, basically you a Jake, you know, because Jake ain't making this type of money anyway. You got a couple tokens, but not all y'all. For the most part, y'all all at the bottom of the barrel, you know. But nevertheless, it says finances, you know, talking about Jake being at the port and to their social media behaviors, just like how we on YouTube pushing out these videos, you know. You're pushing out this truth, which is adverse to Esau and his kingdom. Then what? They'll wind up pulling your shit down or either, you know, canceling out your chip, you know, to the books they're reading, just like the Bible. You know, they going into so-called hate speech, you know, just because you want to read out the Bible, post scriptures out the Bible, they want to label you as hate speech, you know. It says falling afoul of the system could have harsh consequences, like being denied the ability to purchase airline tickets or even getting a job. Hey, like I said, you know, like I went into that in that other video I did on this, dealing with the Chinese social system, you know, what the mark of the beast, I believe it was titled What the Mark of the Beast System Will Look Like, you know. And I showed a couple different systems. You know, America's got a system called the Argus system, all right, in which they can pretty much see you from space, outer space. They got satellites pretty much what they call in outer space. It's in orbit, you know, that can pretty much read a dime on the ground, you know. They can distinguish any moving object, just like China's social credit system, you know. It says facial recognition will play no small part in the development of this all-encompassing matrix that relies upon some 200 million surveillance cameras. Let's face it, if the Chinese can find a way to electronically monitor their 1.3 billion people, then anyone can, all right? Hey, they got 1.3 billion. That means they got like 1,300,000,000. You know, there's 300 million people here in America, all right? You know, 340 million people here in America, all right? It says, after all, the same technology that identifies the lonely face in the crowd is the same as one that allows users of the Apple iPhone to access their Face ID to unlock their phones. And like I was saying, you know, basically all the technology that you got inside your cell phone, first of all, was all developed for what? The ICBM missiles, you know, to be able to deliver these nuclear missiles. You know, and there's a TED talk on that, basically about what, you know, the smartphones you got in your pocket and where all that technology comes from and what it's actually used for. You know, they basically hiding all this here. They make a little extra money off the side of it. You know, the reason they got GPS, all right, is for guided missile systems, all right, to be able to have these guided missiles that they got. But, you know, Esau feels like, well, you know, we created this for us to guide missiles down to the target. But if we can commercialize this same application, all right, then we can sell it to the public and make even more money off of it. Just like the cell phone, the invention of the cell phone was created as a military application. All right, but what, they could give it to you in a civilian setting as well, too, to where civilians can use it to communicate with one another. Same with the internet, you know. But nevertheless, you know, this is another reason why on all these new cell phones that they're coming out with now, all right, and they keep doing these updates to make your phone basically useless, and you got to buy a new phone basically every year now. And some phones are so cheap now that you can get a decent phone for $100 now. But they all have these front-facing cameras. You know, damn near every smartphone now has a front-facing camera on there. All right, and they got multiple other little dots up there. If you put a piece of tape up there for long enough, all right, you won't be able to turn your phone on. All right, it just basically is not going to turn on. All right, but nevertheless, the reason they do these things is because every single time you unlock your phone, not even using the facial recognition and things like that, but every time you unlock your phone, all right, it's taking a picture of your damn face and it's updating into the system for the facial recognition systems to work. All right, those filters that everybody be using on the internet with the little puppy ears and shit like that. All right, that's facial recognition, bro. Again, they just cloaked it in a consumer product way, you know. But that same facial recognition that they use to track your face, to be able to put the dog ears on top of your head, make sure it's squared on top of your head, the nose right where your nose is gonna be, the tongue right where your tongue is going to be is because they have to be able to map and identify your face out of all the other objects. All right, so what? This is just a test drive for them to test drive their facial recognition program and also pick up this here data by giving it to you in a consumer package to where you're going to gobble it all up, just like they're going to give you the RFID chip as some kind of luxury. People they're going to beg for it. They're going to stand in line and pay top dollar for it, you know? It says, meanwhile, the Western world is gradually catching up to the Chinese level of mass surveillance. Of the top 10 cities in the world with the highest number of CCTV cameras, 8 are located in China. However, the United States and the UK are also ranked, with London in 6th place, followed by Atlanta, Georgia, grabbing the 10th spot. All right. You know what? I'm not going to read the rest of this because I've been already going for quite a while. Let me grab a couple scriptures real quick. Let me read these last 2 paragraphs. It says Zimmerman goes on to warn that business already tracks consumers' every move online for advertising and behavioral analysis purposes. So they're already tracking you with every damn thing. You know, that's how come sometimes you could be talking about a certain product or whatever, whatnot, you know, around your friends or whatever at the house, you know, and then you go into like your little social media sites or you check your email or go to a website and advertisement, they advertising things that you looking up, you know, and even, you know, you could be talking about a product, you go on Amazon, you start typing the first letter, you know, of something, and then they pop up with that item that you was actually just talking about, you know, and hell, even sometimes, you know, I noticed this on YouTube, you could be thinking about certain shit you ain't never typed into your damn search bar ever before in your life because it's something now you about to start researching. Oh, damn, I never even know what that shit existed. Let me see what this is. And you start typing it in, and you type in the first letter of it, you know, and then all of a sudden the whole shit pop up. You know, it could be a whole long title. You know, it could be a song, you know. Let's just say, you know, Purple Rain by Prince, right? You know, that, that's not that long, but nevertheless, you get the point. Purple Rain by Prince. You go and you type in the letter P, and all of a sudden it says Purple Rain by Prince because you was just thinking it in your mind. All of a sudden, because it could pick that up already, it just go ahead and type in what you already want, you know? But nevertheless, you know, how many other words could you could have typed in? You could have been typing in paper, Paul, Peter, all kind of different things. But they knew exactly what you was talking about. But nevertheless, it says, Zimmerman goes on to warn that business already tracks consumers' every move online for advertising and behavioral analysis purposes, while the introduction of facial recognition will let them track us in the real world. Again, we are left to ponder the question, is this a desirable condition for human beings? While the implication that arise from such technology are enormous and not all necessarily negative, it stands to reason that safeguards must be established to ensure that people will not wake up one day to find themselves enslaved with invisible chains of new technology, which will only serve mankind's best interests so long as its owners strive for that to happen. And that's where we're already at now with all this social media, cell phones, and all this bullshit we got. But ultimately, once they put this chip inside of you, they got full control. It says, thus far, their true intentions are not so obvious, and that unpredictability should be the source of concern for everybody. And that dude Aaron Russo told you what the ultimate game plan was, to chip everybody, man. To enslave everybody, all right? So I'm going to just pull out just a couple precepts. I just quoted these precepts, but I'm going to go ahead and read through them. This is Habakkuk 2 and 2. Habakkuk 2 and 2. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision, all right, or these prophecies, all right, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it, all right? And this is being broken down into you. It's easy for you to understand. So we're not just reading these precepts and not giving you the breakdown. So what? Now you, now I understand, and I can go back and rewatch this here video and write these here things down, and I got the, the understanding now, Verse 3, for the vision, all right, these prophecies is yet for an appointed time. All right, it's for a set time, set when the Most High have it set. So yeah, the prophets be out there talking about the same shit over and over and over again, and you don't seem to see no change or nothing happening. But what is for an appointed time, all right? Just like the weatherman come on and be like, oh, we got a hurricane out there, forming out there in the water, so on and so forth. Well, when you hear him first say that the first time, it don't mean that after his report, you go outside, the hurricane should be over top. He's warning you that this hurricane is coming, Or here's a 7-day forecast. He's not saying that it's going to rain in the next 7 minutes or whatever, whatnot. That whole forecast, it's not going to come to pass in the next 7 minutes. No, it's in the next 7 days. This is what's coming, down the path. Verse 3 again, Habakkuk 2 and 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right, and that's where we at now. We at the end, and now these prophecies are speaking. It's clear as day in these news articles. Everybody else, is all now coming out saying these things, but also at the end it's still speaking, because now a lot of the things like the chariots are now becoming visible. All right, you can see the mark of the beast system being built up and then put in place with the 5G, the RFID chip, and the way we're going with these things. All right. It says, though it tarry, wait for it. All right. Though these, you keep hearing these same prophecies over and over and over again. Yo, don't lose patience. Like, man, I'm tired of hearing the same shit. You come across a title, another Mark of the Beast video. A brother might just title, this videos, like for me, I'll just grab one of the most important scriptures that I'm pulling out throughout my lesson and just title that with the title, because I know it's safe. You know what I'm saying? And it's a way to weed out people that's looking for entertainment purposes, you could be talking about, enslaving the Edomites or whatever, whatnot, but you just, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's just, a scripture, all of thy adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. You can just put that excerpt right there. And then, somebody might just look over that, somebody for entertainment purpose might just look past that because it don't say Edomites going into slavery or so-called white people about to, get put to death or something. Those types of things bring in attention. All right. But look, this is the time where it's like, look, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right, the things that we've been telling you over and over and over again, now they coming true. It's now all being manifest. All right. Though it tarry, wait for it. All right. Though you keep hearing us talk about these things over and over and over again, it might not seem like it's coming to pass or seem far-fetched or far off. That might not. I can see that happening, but not in my lifetime. Yo, though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. And these are the times now that we're living in where these prophecies are all speaking. They're all speaking loud and clear. All right, like we just read in the article how they was even saying, there's some apocalyptic Bible believers who believe that this is the mark of the beast that's going to enslave everybody. And which that's because why? We heavily pushing these videos out over and over and over again, that we flooding the internet to now a lot of people are waking up to this. And this is a common conversation at the dinner table. Man, I done had a couple people this very week ask me if I was are you a Hebrew? You know what I'm saying? But like, and you gotta, how do you say, you walking as sheep among wolves, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to discern what's really going on around you, whatever, whatnot, like what, what make y'all think, what is making you question these things? What is it about such on and so forth that's make you think, let me question him about this or that. It's not like that I'm walking around in my garments or nothing like that. I might just be at work or whatever, whatnot, and just somebody randomly walk by and just randomly ask, but nevertheless, continuing on. Let me read verse 3 again. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. And that's what we're telling you about these prophecies. And you see it clearly coming to pass as we speak now. All right. So let me go touch on this Revelation 13 and 16. All right. Talking about the mark of the beast. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, so that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, like they were saying, look, you ain't going to be able to go to the grocery store. You ain't going to be able to shop. You ain't going to be able to do these things, go to the bank or whatever, whatnot, get housing. Letting you know you ain't going to be able to buy or sell with these things, man. Just like it's in the scriptures, just like we keep telling you over and over and over again. Now even the enemy, even Esau now is telling you plain Jane, this is what it is, man. It says, and it causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. And pretty much it's going to be like an authentication chip, whether or not you, authenticated to be in this here system. All right. It's just like, really, if you want to do anything kind of big here in Babylon, you have to have a social security number, man. You really can't get no damn job without a social security number here in America, and basically be able to file for taxes. You can get an under the table job, but you really can't get no job here in Babylon without a social security number. You can't register, basically, register a car, because why? You need a driver's license. You can't get a driver's license without the social security number. Can't go to the bank and get no loans or nothing like that. You really can't do nothing in this here society without that social security number. All right. So ultimately, and they're not like, well, we force you to have this, but ultimately you need that to be able to operate in this here system. All right. So this is basically what this RFID chip is going to pretty much be like. All right. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. That's where he gets 666 from. All right, but now let me go into some words here. This here word for mark, all right, which say he was going to receive this here mark in their right hand and their foreheads. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark, the mark stamped upon the foreheads or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. A mark branded upon horses, denoting whose property it is. You know, you branded your horse. This here horse belong to me and my farm, or my ranch. Thing carved, sculpture, graven work. So this is something that's going to be carved out. Idolatrous item or images, salak. All right, now from there, let me go further into this here word, which that their word is charagma. All right, going further into this here word, all right, Caracas, all right, from caraxo, to sharpen to a point, akin to through the idea of scratching. All right, so what? To sharpen to a point and then also to scratch, or a pale or a stake, a palisade, a rampart, a pale between which the earth, stones, trees, timber is heaped and packed together. Let me go further down. It says caraxo, to sharpen to a point akin to G 1125 through the idea of scratching. A stake by implication, a palisade, a rampart, a military mound for circumvallation and siege, a trench. All right. So basically here is telling you that what? First of all, going into that word mark, all right, charagma, which is basically like an etching in the skin, all right? And this one here says like, but through the idea of scratching or with a stake, all right, or a pale, all right, to be able to impale you with something that's coming to a sharp point, all right? Now let me go back a little bit and go into this here 666 number, all right, 603 score 6. That's a lot. Let me go down to Salaki, give me 1 second. Trying to find no, that's not it. Salaki, give me 1 second here, Akim. Oh. Trying to go into this here word here. I wanted to go further into this here word. Give me 1 second. Akim, give me 1 second. Nevertheless, wanted to go into, go further into that word where it goes, it speaks about, again, it's talking about, basically using like a pale or a stake to be able to, imprinted mark, all right, used for, basically, marking, ownership of a certain master or a slave. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go, right here. Let me go into this here word real quick. All right. The word is stigma. It says from a primary stizo, to stick, to prick, a mark pricked or branded, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To the ancient Orient usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name of or the stamp of their master or commander branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to, and there were given some devotees who stamped themselves in this way as a token to their God. So look, this is what Esau is going to have you basically do, to brand yourself, like just like you see, You know, they used to brand their horses, their cows. You know, you go to these damn pastures and see the damn cows. Nowadays, they brand them with like basically like an earring, a tag through their ear, all right, to denote whose cow it is or whatever, whatnot, in case, you know, they get out, somebody try to steal their cow or whatever, whatnot, you know. But nevertheless, this is basically the mark that they trying to get you to get. You know, you're going to have the number of his name, you know, 300 or 303 score and 6, you know, 666 basically, you know. But this is going to basically be that mark that's going to be etched or pricked inside of your skin, or like how you say with that pale or being pricked inside of your skin. Now, how are they going to put this RFID chip inside of you? You know, when you look at how they get this RFID chip put inside of you, they wind up using basically a syringe or like a needle. You know, you go give blood. That needle that they prick you with is basically called a syringe. All right. Now, they could put that little, it's like the size of a grain of rice. They put that inside the needle and they inject that under the skin. All right. Now, real quick, let me go to Revelation 14. I'm going to close out after here. This is Revelation 14:9, dealing with those who take this RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Revelation 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his right hand. Now, you know, they talk about these chips, and it don't matter if it's in your right hand. Let me see. Well, shit, here, now what we just read, let me go back. Revelation 13, right? Some people use this as a stumbling block. Well, what happens if I get the chip? All right, let me read this again. It says, Revelation 13:16, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? We're going to focus on the right hand part. Some people say, well, what if I get the RFID chip in my left hand? Or what if I get it in my butt cheek? What if I get it in my elbow? Does that make a difference? You still got the damn chip, man. It don't matter. Now, let me go to chapter 14 real quick. This is Revelation 14:9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive a mark in his forehead or in his hand, don't say right handed, just say in his hand. So what? If you get in your right hand, your left hand, anywhere, it's basically the same shit. You know, now when they talk about in your forehead, you got Elon Musk that's trying to make what they call a BCI, a brain computer interface, all right, which is basically going to connect. One thing they pumping out with the chemtrails is this shit called Morgellons disease. Now, Morgellons disease is not a sickness or no disease at all. What it is these nano microfiber, or not nano, or microfibers. They're nanofibers, all right, which is like the size of a grain of dust that they raining down on you. That's basically going inside of your body, and they're like self-building, self-replicating little robots that's being put inside of your body to create a new nervous system, all right, inside of your body, which is going to basically, how do I put this? Going to be the connecting nodes. You know how your nervous system connects all your, you know, somebody smash your damn finger and shit. What's going to send the signal from your finger to your brain to let you know your ass is in pain, all right? Your nervous system, all right? That's why sometimes you be getting, you know, sometimes if you used to get your hair braided or whatever, whatnot, you pull out a certain hair from the hair follicle and it's attached to a nerve, which they pretty much all are. It hurt, you know, real bad. Like, ah, damn, you pulled it right there, the scalp or whatever, you know? But nevertheless, this new nervous system is going to connect this, like, this technology-based, computer-based driven piece of technology to your actual physical body. Now, Elon Musk is trying to be able to connect the two from the RFID chip to your actual body. The plug that's going to plug you in with this, all right? Just like when you see in the movie The Matrix, when they plug you in, you know, they had to have that little plug embedded in the back of their head so that their body would be able to receive that their plug, all right? So this is what it's talking about when it says, you know, they was going to receive it in either in their hand, their right hand, or their hand, you know, either hand, or in their forehead. Talking about that brain-computer interface. Now, George Bush started it all out with the Real ID Act, all right, and the Patriot Act and the NDAA Act. You know, Obama followed it up with all of that. Now, also Obama signed into law, you know, about this Obama Brain Initiative program, which basically wrote in the law about microchipping people and why it was going to be mandatory for these things, and why Obamacare or universal health care came into play so that they could monitor all your health records. Well, if you're going to get this, in order for everybody to get free health care, you got to have this RFID chip, all right? Now you have Donald Trump that's going to fully, you know, Lord willing, it'd be Donald Trump. We don't have nobody else after him that's not going to really add on to it, all right? But Lord willing, it'd be Donald Trump that's going to, you know, pretty much finish this off in the final stage, you know? So Revelation 14:9, again, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in their forehead or in their right hand or in their hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angel and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they had no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. All right, here's the patience of the saints. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahushua. All right. So basically, you know, you're going to wind up dying over here in the lake of fire, man. Are you going to get burnt up with these thermonuclear missiles? And, you know, in reality, like I was going into, you know, all the things about your cell phones is pretty much all the technology that they need for these ICBM missiles to basically work, to be able to have a nuke war. All right. Well, shit, you got a tracking device inside your damn pocket. It's easy to hit your ass. All they got to do is just, you know how you got that where find my iPhone, or you can track where your iPhone is, or you can track your kids by their cell phone. Yeah, these missiles can pretty much track your ass down the same way too and hit that damn cell phone in your pocket. But how much more when you got a microchip embedded inside of your hand? You really can't outrun. You ain't gonna outrun no missile to begin with. But nevertheless, there's nowhere you can hide from this shit. They don't even really have to physically see your ass, but they can just pick up the beacon of where your damn chip is at. All right, and then they can go and hit your ass with that. So what? Your ass is gonna ultimately be grass over here if you take this RFID chip, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. A citation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.